All right, let's jump right into this explainer and see if we can solve one of the most frustrating mysteries out there: why your pool water simply refuses to clear up. Look, if you're managing a pool, you already know the drill. You meticulously test the water, you balance all the chemicals, the pump is humming away perfectly, and yet, you are still staring into a murky, cloudy abyss. It's maddening. So today, we're going to unpack exactly what goes wrong deep inside your sand filter. We're drawing from expert diagnostic guides, service manuals, and real industry insights to decode the clues your equipment is giving you, so we can finally get that water crystal clear again.
We've all been there, right? You do the whole routine, you backwash the filter, run the rinse cycle, and maybe, just maybe, it looks a little better for a day. But then, that haze comes back like it literally pays rent in your pool, leaving you wondering what on earth is actually happening inside that tank. It's incredibly frustrating because backwashing is supposed to reverse the flow and flush all that trapped debris right out of the filter. And it is useful, absolutely, but as our sources are quick to point out, it's not magic. So if you've done your backwash and the water is still cloudy, we really need to stop assuming the filter is working perfectly and start investigating the sand bed itself.
Now here is kind of a wild fact. Your sand doesn't just disappear like some disposable paper cartridge. Actually, it traps debris so incredibly well that a little bit of dirt initially boosts its performance. It sounds counterintuitive, I know, but because sand has this rough texture, it catches fine particles. And as those particles build up, the tiny gaps between the sand grains get even smaller, which lets them catch even finer debris. It's like a net pulling tighter. But eventually, the whole system just gets totally overwhelmed. Oils, scale, clumping, they all start to alter how the water moves through the bed. So the problem isn't always that the sand is old, it's that its physical performance has been completely compromised.
To really figure out what's going on, we gotta read the clues. And that means establishing a solid baseline on your filter's pressure gauge, which typically hangs out right in the sweet spot of 10 to 25 psi. You really want to think of this gauge as your pool's check engine light. Now, the most absolutely crucial thing here isn't the specific number itself, it's finding your pool's specific normal. You want to check your gauge right after you've thoroughly cleaned or backwashed your filter. That reading right there, that's your baseline. Write it down, grab a Sharpie, and literally mark it on the dial and use that as your personal reference point for the entire rest of the season.
You can honestly think of your pressure gauge as the filter's way of talking to you. If it's reading 10 psi or more above that baseline we just established, you've got a restriction somewhere after the pump. Usually that means a really dirty, clogged filter, or maybe some trapped air inside the tank. On the flip side of that, a sudden drop of 5 psi or more below your baseline means water isn't even reaching the filter fast enough. That almost always points to a blockage on the suction side. Think a clogged skimmer basket, a jammed pump impeller, or maybe a suction leak that's pulling in air. Reading this gauge correctly is a total game changer. It can save you from completely tearing apart a filter when the real culprit is literally just a pump basket full of leaves.
But wait. What if your pressure is totally normal, your chemistry is absolutely spot on, and the water is still a swamp? Well, our prime suspect is something called channeling. If you were to pop the top off your filter and look inside, and the sand isn't flat, but instead has these deep valleys and gorges cut into it, channeling has started. The water has essentially drilled a high-speed shortcut straight down to the bottom of the filter. It's moving way too fast through a super narrow channel and completely bypassing the sand entirely. That means your water is getting exactly zero filtration. It just rushes down the channel and spits right back into your pool, leaving everything completely cloudy.
And if you just let that channeling go unchecked, it leads to something way worse. In extreme cases, especially if you live in an area with hard water, all that built-up debris basically acts like superglue. The sand clumps together into a massive, petrified block known in the industry as caliche. When your sand turns to caliche, the game is over. It is completely ruined. I mean, water cannot pass through a solid rock. Sometimes, huge chunks of this caliche even break off and get shoved right to the top of the sand bed. If that happens, your filter is entirely useless until that giant rock is physically broken up and removed from the tank.
So the big question is, why do channeling and caliche happen in the first place? Well, the number one culprit is short-cycling your backwash process. People absolutely love staring at that little clear sight glass on the valve. As soon as the water looks somewhat clear, boom, they stop backwashing. But as our sources point out, the water in there is moving so incredibly fast that literal golf balls could be flying through and you wouldn't even see them in that tiny glass. You've got to ignore the glass, grab your phone, use a stopwatch, and commit to a full 3 minutes. That is the actual time required to properly lift the sand bed, fluff it up, and truly flush out all that heavy, sticky debris that causes the clumping in the first place.
Now, buried all the way at the very bottom of a standard sand filter tank, sitting under hundreds of pounds of wet sand, is our next suspect.
You'll usually find 8 of these fragile plastic lateral tubes attached to a central hub. These laterals are covered in tiny perforations, essentially screens that act as a sieve. Their whole job is to let the beautifully clean water pass through while keeping all that sand safely trapped inside the tank where it belongs.
So if you're actually seeing sand returning into your pool, piling up in little dunes on the floor near your return jets, the sand itself is not the bad guy here. A lot of folks just assume their sand has gone bad and is somehow blowing through. But that's a total myth. If sand is making its way into your pool, it almost certainly means one of those fragile plastic laterals we just talked about has cracked, or maybe the internal standpipe is damaged. When you open up that filter to fix it, you have to meticulously inspect every single one of those laterals for even the tiniest breaks. Because if you skip that and just dump brand new sand over a broken lateral, you're going to be right back where you started, with a sandy pool.
Let's clear up a massive misconception about the sand itself wearing out. There is this hugely popular idea that sand simply rounds off over time, kind of like smooth sea glass on a beach, losing its sharp edges. But as this incredibly descriptive quote from an industry service tech highlights, the reality is so much grosser. When you open up a filter after years of heavy use, the sand doesn't feel like a day at the beach. It is coated in a thick, sticky, absolutely nasty layer of organic waste, biofilm, body oils, and bacteria. That grime right there is exactly what causes the clumping, and that is why your water pressure drops and your pool stays stubbornly murky.
But hey, before you commit to the absolute back-breaking nightmare of shoveling hundreds of pounds of wet, smelly sand out of a cramped tank, hold on, you've got options. You can often just use a targeted chemical purge to clean up the media. Throwing an enzyme purge in there will aggressively chew through and break down that organic waste, slime, and oils. And if you've got hard water, a good descaler can dissolve the calcium scale. Doing a chemical purge once or twice a season can completely strip the grime right off your existing sand, restore its filtration power, extend its life by years, and honestly, save you a tremendous amount of exhausting physical labor.
Now, I will say, chemicals can only work miracles up to a point. If your sand is hitting that 3 to 5 year mark, or your pressure spikes right back up immediately after a proper backwash, it might officially be dead. And of course, if you've got persistent green or cloudy water, even when your chemistry is absolutely perfect, the media is probably compromised. But you know what the absolute best test is? Just stick your hand right in there. If it feels like a petrified rock or thick, nasty mud instead of flowing smoothly through your fingers, yep, it is officially time to replace it.
Changing sand is a messy, heavy job, no doubt about it. But the absolute most critical takeaway here happens right at the very end. Right before you pour the brand new sand in, you absolutely must add water to the tank to cover those laterals first. If you just start tossing 50-pound bags of heavy sand directly onto unprotected, decades-old plastic laterals, you will snap them right off. And then, the second you turn the pump back on, you'll immediately have a pool completely full of sand. That water acts as a crucial cushion.
And hey, if you are already going through all the trouble of a full replacement, you really should consider upgrading your filtration media. Recycled glass media is getting hugely popular right now as a highly efficient alternative to traditional silica sand. Because crushed glass is actually significantly denser, you need about 20% less of it by weight to fill that exact same tank. So if your filter usually takes 100 pounds of sand, you only need 80 pounds of glass. Best of all, glass doesn't harbor bacteria the way sand does, meaning it filters way finer particles and lasts significantly longer. It might just save you from doing this terrible chore again anytime soon.
All right, I want to leave you with this one final, kind of provocative thought for this explainer. Before you go out and buy hundreds of pounds of new sand, before you tear your filter apart and spend your whole Saturday covered in nasty grime, just walk over to your equipment pad and turn the pump off. Does the needle on your pressure gauge actually drop all the way down to zero? Because if it stays stuck at 15 psi while the whole system is completely off, guess what? Your gauge is broken. Your entire cloudy pool mystery, all your stress about channeling and caliche, might literally just be a faulty $20 dial feeding you bad information. Always trust your eyes. Check those baselines, and don't be afraid to investigate a little before you do major surgery on your equipment. Thanks for hanging out with me on this one, and here is the crystal clear water ahead.